what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people.
We, the people
of this great nation.
of this great nation.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I am here relaxing, drinking a beer after watching the final presidential debate. And I must say, I was impressed. I was impressed by both sides, actually. I feel like I'm gonna be straight up with you. I feel like the moderator was a little bit pandering to Joe Biden, in the sense where most of the questions were stuff that were easy for him to answer, would be an easy question because it's kind of like a left wing kind of question that they're used to like conversating about. So I think it was easier for him. I think they both brought up good points. I think Trump hit him hard. I think Trump hit him hard. I think Joe Biden hit him hard on the race card because they're always talking about
racist.
And that's just what they do. That's just what the Democrats do. They always throw the race card. I wish Donald Trump would go more into detail. Whenever they throw that racist card, I wish he would go into more detail about his past. He has a very good past with the African American community. I mean, this is a guy that hung out during the 80s with all the main civil rights activists: Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali. I just don't know why he never brings that up. Whereas if we talk about Joe Biden's past and racism, Senator Byrd, the school busing, not wanting to put his kid in a racial jungle. I mean, I think Trump can do a better job at attacking Biden on racism than anyone else. I knew he was going to, at some point, I kept looking and I kept looking at Biden and I was losing it because I was like, oh my God, this guy keeps talking about China, Russia. He keeps bringing up those topics. And I was like, Trump is going to strike with Hunter. And he did. And he did. And I think that one of the best things that Trump kept doing is reminding American people that he had 8 years to do this while he was vice president. And he's been in office for 47 years and he hasn't done shit. The reality is Joe Biden lied about a lot of things. He lied about fracking. And that's a complete lie. The moderator would give Joe Biden more time than Donald Trump to respond to questions, which I noticed. But what it is, man. Listen, the Republicans always have a long road ahead of them every single election cycle. It's very difficult. People don't realize how difficult it really is for a Republican to become president. It's extremely difficult. And it's kind of sad because, honestly speaking, it shouldn't be that way. But it is what it is. It's designed that way, and I don't know. The debate was much more calm. It was different. It was definitely not like the first Royal Rumble that we saw between between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. They definitely went. I think the rules actually benefited them, which I was against the mute button, and I was against that. I saw that Trump got muted once. I saw that. But overall, I think they both performed very well. Biden kind of like staggered a little bit in some of his answers, but not enough to be noticeable that people are going to be like, oh, wait a minute. But overall, I mean, listen, Joe Biden is your typical politician. He speaks, he flip-flops, he says one thing, then changes his mind. At least Donald Trump's a straight fucking shooter, man. And I mean, his policies and everything he stands for, he's maintained. You know, I mean, even when they asked him about how do you change people's minds on what you're doing for other races, and he goes, I don't know what else I can do. My actions, he goes, opportunity zones. He was mentioning the accomplishments. And then it's funny because they keep talking about COVID-19. And every time I hear Joe Biden talk about COVID-19, I'm like, dude, Donald Trump's already done that. It's so easy to sit back and watch something unravel and not be in the midst of the situation and criticize it. That's the simplest thing anybody can do. I can watch somebody, for example, let's say I'm a handyman or something, and I see somebody doing some carpenter. I'm a carpenter, and somebody's doing some carpentry, and I'm looking at it from the outside as he's doing it, and I can see the flaws and the mistakes he's making, but he's doing it at the moment, and he can't tell. And I feel like that's the same situation with COVID-19. It's very easy from an outside perspective to criticize it, but let's not forget Andrew Cuomo, a lot of people died under his watch. I think Joe Biden really, really fucked up making that statement towards the end. Trump baited him, and he bit on the bait, which was when he mentioned the fracking. He said, yes, we'll eliminate fracking, and Trump quickly said Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, Oklahoma, pay attention. That's a big statement. I think that's going to resonate, even though we're already at 50 million people voting. I don't think, I may be wrong, I predicted 2016 pretty well, but I don't think this is going to be a close race. I honestly think Trump's going to win by a landslide. I mean, it's not because I'm a huge Trump supporter, which I am, but it's not because I'm a Trumpster all the way or whatever. It's just the momentum the man is carrying is unlike anything I've ever seen. I try to look at Ronald Reagan's old video clips, and I try to look back. Ronald Reagan had a following. He had a lot of momentum, but nothing like Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump should keep comparing himself to Abraham Lincoln. I mean, abolishing slavery is a pretty big accomplishment. And I hate the fact that he says that. That's why I can criticize him. See, that's what the left can't do. They can't criticize their candidates, but I can criticize mine. So I wish he would stop referencing that he's done the most for blacks since Abraham Lincoln, and maybe even more than Abraham Lincoln. I mean, he abolished slavery. Come on. But nevertheless, the debate was interesting. It was funny to see Chris Wallace actually defend Donald Trump, saying that he felt that the questions were more leaning towards Biden, easier for Biden to handle. And I found that to be astonishing, since you know how Chris Wallace is. Unpredictable. I think he's a Democrat. I'm pretty sure he's a Democrat, or he just hates Trump. One or the other. But overall, I think Trump did a very, very good job. I think Joe Biden held his own. I think Joe Biden, overall, you know, considering his mental capabilities, I think he handled himself very well. I think the one thing that Trump is lacking is having a healthcare plan. I think he's lacking big time on the healthcare plan, because it's a very difficult topic, but it's something that he really has to work on a healthcare plan, because we know that ACB is going to be the new Supreme Court justice, and we know that Obamacare is going to the Supreme Court. So that being said, Donald Trump should have a plan, or at least something to present to Americans. I mean, Americans care about that. I do think Joe Biden was bullshitting on a lot of things, like when he kept saying about how people could choose his healthcare plan. Listen, I've been on his website. That's not his program, and that's not the way his program is set up. It's socialized medicine. It's government controlled. It's a socialized program. Bottom line, he can reword it however he wants, just like how he reworded the redistributing funds for police. Yeah, it's very similar. He instead of saying defunding, he just uses politically correct words that it's pretty much means the same thing, but at the end of the day, it's just sounds better. But there were some breaking news. Wow, some real big news right before the debate, which was to me a whoa moment, which was the guy, Hunter Biden's business partner, came out and said, yes, Joe Biden was involved. Yes, those emails are valid. Yes, I have 3 cell phones that I'm going to hand over to the Senate committee and to the FBI. I think this is a big deal, and I think this is going to be a bad situation for Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. To be honest with you, there's something there. Democrats won't admit it. Democrats will disregard it. But there's something there. There's something fishy there. The emails are obviously, the fact Trump nailed it so well when Joe Biden said, this is just a smear campaign of Russia. And then he goes, yeah, here we go. Russia. But the thing is, Trump should have just hit him with facts. the FBI already confirmed that this has nothing to do with Russia. I mean, the FBI confirmed that. That much we know. So he should have just hit him with facts. That same department. And then Joe Biden keeps saying, I've already been investigated by government agencies and this and this and that. Yeah, government agencies that were part of the Obama administration. So that technically, that doesn't count, because if you were involved and Obama knew about it, that means the whole circle is infected. That means the whole circle is involved. And we already know what this government is capable of when they have ties with presidents and have relationships with specific presidents. We saw it with James Comey. We saw it with the FBI. When they're biased, they'll all stick together. So it's very hypocritical to me. And I see this world in such a different way. Coming from where I came from, the experiences that I've had in my life, I cannot comprehend how anyone can even see Joe Biden as a candidate to choose. Like, I don't understand it. Every single time somebody tells me that they're voting for Joe Biden, like, it instantly in my mind, these words come out.
Are you stupid?
Like, instantly. It hits me instantly, because I'm like, can you not see? Okay, forget the fact that he's corrupt. We know he's a corrupt politician. That's a fact. He's a corrupt politician. I mean, it'll come out eventually. But the fact that we know that the man is not mentally all there, that should be disturbing to a lot of people. And may I remind people that they questioned Ronald Reagan about his age, and he was actually younger, a lot younger than what Joe Biden is. They questioned Ronald Reagan. They questioned Senator McCain, but nobody questions Joe Biden. The hypocrisy, huh? The double standard. I mean, it's just insane, guys. I mean, hopefully the world goes back to normal. I feel like we are all like in this weird world. I'm sorry, guys. The beers are starting to kick in, and I'm getting a little tipsy. I feel like we're in this world that things just don't make sense. Like this is like a fantasy world or something. I mean, they were talking about like us having masks and social distancing for like almost another year. That sounds bizarre and insane to me. When I walk into a supermarket or something and I'm like looking around at everyone wearing masks, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe this happened to our country. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Like, if you really look at it from an outside point of view, like, put yourself, like, really do that. The next time you go to the supermarket, just stand and look at people walking. Just observe them. You might look crazy. People might get suspicious, but just do it. Just do it for one full minute and just observe everybody walking back and forth, wearing masks. It's really, really weird that we got to where we're at today. And Trump he has every reason to blame China because it came from China. And whoever thinks this wasn't a drug that was manufactured by China is completely insane. When China was being pressured so much by our country, by our president, if you think China didn't release this shit on purpose, you got something else going for you, because they accomplished a lot during this COVID-19. Hong Kong being one of them. The troops that were killed in the border with India. The little games that they were playing in the Chinese Sea. I mean, there's a lot of things that we really have to like consider. And then we have the whistleblower, that lady that keeps talking about the lady from Hong Kong that says that she has evidence that this was created, in a laboratory. Just a lot of things that don't jive with me. I'm just saying. Overall, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, most likely it's a duck. You know what I mean? So that being said, guys, it was an interesting night. I streamed it live. You can catch it on twitch.tv, The Republican Nation. I stream a lot live. I usually do it during the day, and then I do my podcasts at night. I had a very good interview earlier this morning. It's my previous episode. It's with a candidate that's running for Wake County in Raleigh, North Carolina, for the Sheriff's Department. Hopefully he wins, man. Hopefully he wins. He was telling me the situation that's going on over there, and it's really bad. And he needs all the support he can. So aside from that, the world is upside down, guys. We're just living in an upside down world right now, and hopefully we'll get back to the norm and everything will be right back to where it was before. I want I want these elections to be over so badly. I want Trump to just win the election and we move on and we can all move on with our lives. That's it. That's all I want. I'm tired of the elections already. I can't even, I don't even know how it got here so fast. It felt like it was yesterday that all these candidates were running. But apparently quarantining yourself and all this stuff that went on made time look like it flew by. But anyways, anybody that wants to call in, feel free to message me on Instagram. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on the Facebook. You can email me at arepublicannation@gmail.com. And I will be more than glad to have you on my show. If you want to debate, if you want to have a conversation, or if you're someone who just is lonely and needs somebody to talk to, I'm always here. So I just enjoy having all types of people from all different platforms. I respect everybody's rights. I mean, I don't, just because somebody will vote for Joe Biden doesn't mean I dislike him or despise him. I respect everybody's First Amendment rights. I respect everybody's right to vote for whoever they want to vote for. I just support my candidate, and I hope people respect my right as well. By the way, guys, you can catch the reporting that they did on me in Fox 4 here locally in Fort Myers. They did do a report on me and an interview. And it came out really well. The reporter was very, very neutral. She wasn't she was not biased whatsoever. I mean, she put somebody that represented the Democrats, somebody that represented Republicans, and I think she was fair and equal. And I think that's what the local news media needs to be. That's what I think the mainstream media needs to be more like the local news media. They need to actually report news and not be biased. But she did a great job. I enjoyed seeing the whole 1 minute of me talking, because it was a 45-minute interview, but it ended up only being 1 minute of airtime. But it was on the news. I enjoyed it, and it was great times. And guys, this is something that I started because I'm very passionate about politics. I love politics, and I love all the aspects of politics. I love researching it. I love history. So these are subjects that I've always really, really, really enjoyed. So I decided one day, hey, I'm going to start running a podcast because I like it. And I'm that type of person that I go big or go home. So I try my hardest, I work my hardest, and I hope that the end result, that my hard work ends up going into fruition and something happening with it. So, I mean, I appreciate all my viewers. I mean, I'm hitting a pretty large amount of viewers, and I'm very thankful to all you guys out there that listen and tune in. I'm getting an average of 5,000 viewers per podcast, which is pretty impressive since I haven't been doing this too often. As much as you guys want to support me, follow me. You know, look me up. I'm on every platform. I mean, you can Google the Republican Nation. You'll see everything. The websites. You'll see my Instagram. You'll see all my social media outlets, and you guys will be able to get involved and get to know who I am in real life, not just through this platform. But that being said, I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear opinions. I would love to hear what you guys think, who you guys think won the debate. My opinion, I think it's pretty much down the middle. I think they both did pretty much pretty decent job. I would say it was a draw. Trump lacked in a couple things there that he could have probably done a better job at attacking Joe Biden, but he didn't. He was polite, which was unlike Donald Trump. But overall, they both did a pretty good job. I don't think it's going to change anybody's mind on the elections. If anything, it might persuade some people in Pennsylvania perhaps to vote for Trump because of the comment that Joe Biden said on fracking, confirming it once again. But aside from that, I don't see it changing much of the outcome of the election. So as Joe Biden should have done a little bit. He should have thought that one through. He's changed it a little bit though now. He's no longer saying, "Come on, man." He's saying, "Come on." Like he's changed the "come on, man." Now he's changing it to something else. Now it's just come on. But it's always entertaining to see good old Joe there. He reminds you of that creepy uncle or creepy grandfather that you have that's like, come here, give me a hug and a little kiss. Come, let me get close to me. Get close to me and let me give you a nice little hug and a kiss. He's one of those weird guys, but overall, man, I respect everybody that serves our country, even though he served it basically to enrich his family. So on the Americans' dime. But anyways, guys, that being said, I wish you all a very good night. Guys, remember, don't let politics get in the way of relationships between family members. It's already affected my personal life, and it's not a good thing. You should be able to talk politics and walk away and still be friends with people, still love one another, and have disagreements. It's normal. No minds think alike. You know what I mean? So, that being said, guys, have a good night, and thank you for tuning in.